What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Tastemaker's Palette here to bring you another review. Hope that you are all well. Hope that you are just settling into your New Year's Eve and getting ready for the new year and in the best fashion possible. Glad to be back reviewing. I took a couple of weeks off and just back with another one for you guys. So hope you enjoy this one. Today's review, we are going to jump into some footwear by Salomon. We're going to jump into the Salomon Raidwind hiker sneaker. Salomon Raidwind, it's a lightweight hiker shoe that is built kind of for high performance activity when it comes to hiking. So great shoe, kind of like a sneaker boot hybrid, if you will. The boot part would be the traction and the sole of the shoe, and the sneaker part would be the upper. So it performs like a sneaker on the top, but gives you what you would need maybe on a hiking trail or whatever have you on the bottom. And of course, you don't have to use it for that. It will be a great functional shoe for conditions where it's wet outside, or if you do a lot of walking, because it's a very comfortable shoe with the technology and stuff like that. So multi-purpose shoe, great shoe. I was able to get a great deal on this shoe. It's $190 retail. And Saks Fifth Avenue last week had a sale that gave you potentially up to 80% off of already discounted items. And I'll let you do the math. I got them for $57, but from 190 discounted down to 57. So, I said, yeah, let me take the opportunity, because I do not own a pair of Salomon shoes, and Salomon has just been just killing it lately, within the last year or so. And I just wanted to join in and see what the rave was about. And so far so good. So far I'm impressed. So just wanted to kind of touch on one of the reasons why Salomon is so popular, and just kind of what's going on in terms of fashion analysis and trends right now. Right now, there's a category of trend called Gorpcore, which is kind of like the hiking gear trend, like Arc'teryx jacket and some Salomon shoes, or whatever have you, whatever particular brand. And it's just so crazy being around for a while and just seeing time repeat itself. In the 90s, there was, and for me, it never went away, but it just kind of evolved. But I don't know. When these names are thrown around, it's almost like a reemergence. It makes it seem like it's a reemergence. But in the 90s, again, there was a big hiker clothing trend. And so you see my wife in the back. She's closing the doors on me. That's not a ghost. But anyway, so yeah, there was a big trend in the 90s where there was North Face, and you choose it, your choice of Gore-Tex boots. And there was you had for the Gore-Tex boots, you had one of my favorites was Vask. They nicknamed them Vasquez in New York, because New York City, everything has a nickname. So Vask, the Vask Sundowner was one of my favorites. Then there was the Dolomite. Dolomite was definitely an NYC staple. Dolomite was like an Italian hiker boot company. So you had Dolomite, Asolo, which is still around and still alive and kicking. People still wearing Asolos, big time hiker boot brand. What were the others? Asolo, Vaz, Dolomite. And I guess obviously you could wear Timbs. Timbs were not technically hikers. They had hikers like the beef and broccolis and what we sentimentally call the beef and broccolis, and the chicken and broccolis, and the mac and cheese, all of those names of the popular Timberland somewhat hiking shoe boot. That was also in heavy rotation as well. But Timberlands were more construction boot type brand, but they could definitely fit into that category with some of the styles that they had in rotation. And yeah, so you had those boots, and then you had the North Face jacket. Marmot was around back then. That was kind of like one of the low key jackets. Columbia was out of style like in the mid 90s. They were still kind of in rotation during the early 90s, but they were much more popular like really early 90s, 91, 92, 93, maybe sometime in the 80s. And then by the time, I say by 95, 96, it was like everything was about North Face. And that was what was going on in where I was at, and that was New York City. So I may be missing out on a few things, but that was the 90s Gorpcore. And so again, you know, we're seeing a reemergence. And like I said, I don't know if it's a reemergence because I saw the North Face piece, I saw that evolve because then we got into Patagonia. You know, we got into other brands that evolved and carried that torch to where we are today with the Arc'teryx and you name it. Like just, you know, you can get Montclair and all those different types of things, and you can find a hiker jacket. You know, there are a lot of hiker style jackets out. So, but for me, it was just an evolution. But now with the new name and everything, it seems like it's a reemergence. And maybe it's that where people who are not geographically anchored to places where hiker gear is more functional than it is stylish, we're seeing more of an emergence of people wearing these styles in those areas. So for example, if you're wearing North Face in Florida, then that's more of a trend than it is, you know, hey, I'm just choosing this brand because it fits a functional need, you know. You know, certain places in California and the West Coast where it gets cold at night, and even though it's hot, you know, mostly all year round and that type of thing, it still gets chilly and cold. So these types of brands are, you know, they can definitely fit the bill. But definitely where I was from in New York, I mean, you had to have your nice coat, nice boots for once it came time for the winter, even the fall, because it gets really cold in the fall. And if you're anything like me, and like I was rather, trying to get better at it, but very materialistic, maybe 2 or 3 coats and a few pair of boots. So, but anyway, back to the subject at hand. That was what was going on, and kind of a, you know, a trip down memory lane in terms of how the style is, you know, gone from point A to point B, and here we are at point B. We're going to review some Salomon Raidwind shoes. So let's take a look. Boom. Salomon box. Nice presentation. I mean, a typical shoe box. Not going to review the box. Got these in a size 11. They are true to size. And boom. Now, again, I bought these solely for the price and because I wanted to experience Salomon as a brand. But the XT series is by far the more popular series of Salomon shoe. XT4, XT6, XT Quest, you name it. There's quite a few out there. And I won't get into that because that'll take us off the rails. But it was good to kind of get something different from what everybody else is wearing. So Raidwind, let's take a look. These are human-made materials, so there's no leather or anything like that in terms of the upper. Human-made material and mesh. This is the beige, pink, blue, yellow colorway. I guess that's part of the reason why it was so discounted, because this is a challenging colorway. And guess what? If you give me a challenge, I'm going to take it on. I'm going to kill these. But anyway, yeah, pink lacing, interlock lacing system. So this is not an open lacing system. This is this system. So basically, let me swivel this around a little bit so you can see a little better. Bear with me. All right. So this lacing system it's not open. So it's like a draw cord interlocking system. So basically, when it's time to put them on, you pull the draw cord out, give it some space, you open it up, and then you slide your foot in. Also, as you can see, the tongue in the Raidwind it's not the, because it's an interlocking system, the tongue is not the typical tongue. It's kind of like the sock shoe style shoe, where it's just all, you just slide your foot in there. There's no pulling the tongue out, or there's no sides on the tongue where you can, you know, put your finger down on the side or whatever the case may be. So mesh on the upper here for breathability, pretty cool. Braid wind on the inside there. Ortholite technology, very, very light shoe. Heavy duty bottom. So it's like the best of the both worlds. And the man-made upper is light, but it definitely, this is durable. Like you can go through wet conditions, with exception to the mesh. I mean, I wouldn't say run through deep puddles or anything, but you know, if it's raining lightly outside, not pouring, I think these are still your guys. I mean, there's nothing about this shoe is high performance. The traction and tread on the bottom, you couldn't slip if you wanted to with these. Just a great tread. This is like the very high quality boot tread on a kind of sneaker hybrid boot hybrid hiker shoe. And lock eyelets. So you have your heel tab and your tongue tab so that you can make sure that you're getting your shoe on the way that you need it to be on. And little hints of blue. This is beige, this is part of the upper. Again, this is pink, the laces. And you have a little bit more yellow in the heel cup here. There's a little bit of a satin finish on the back, which is nice. Nice touch to the look, give a little elegance. Then you have your Solomon logo, Solomon here. A really, really nice shoe. Really, really nice shoe. I'm gonna take a moment and try them on. If you give me a sec here. You shouldn't give your on foot. I also, you know, as I was mentioning, I like going down memory lane and talking about how, you know, styles today kind of manifest similarities of yesterday. And so I bought a pair of Asolo boots, which was one of the more popular boots that were out in the 90s, kind of like a Solomon of the 90s. And they're still, again, alive and kicking today. Asolo is still very popular. Now, Vask was my favorite, but I no longer own a pair of Vasks. Dolomite was probably one of my favorites as well. I just recently sold a pair of Dolomites, to be honest. I was surprised to see that there was still a demand for it. But that nostalgia, people still love it. All right. Now, let's get you down here. Make sure that you guys can see everything, so I'm gonna step back a bit. And here you have it. Solomon Raidwind, just rocking them with a pair of jogging pants today, and they could actually go with this suit. I didn't even mean to do this. I'm gonna rock these today. My New Year's fit. So yeah, great shoe, very comfortable, true to size, or definitely go true to size. Let's take a quick look at these old school Asolos that I have. Just a little bonus feature for today's video. All right, so don't judge me on the color. I bought these some time back, and so I bought these for nostalgia purposes. Every now and then I make a purchase, kind of a sentimental purchase, that something that maybe takes me back to a time that I really, really enjoyed, a good time in life. Now, no time is better than the present, but nostalgia is what it is. So this is kind of an example. Don't judge me on the red, man. Sorry, this was all I could find. I was looking for them because I was just searching. But this is the Asolo boot. And if the red is bothering you, if you could just picture these in like a brown or a black, these were sick. Just sick. Winter boots. Love these, man. These were some, I rocked these in high school quite a bit. And let's take a look. And this is everything. I mean, like style, function. This is probably one of the more heavy duty boots you can find. These are gonna handle some of the roughest of winter weather. And this is kind of the time machine. This is the time machine shoe. And people still wear Asolos. They were, if somebody, you'll probably have some hiker enthusiasts, if they check this channel out and they see me speaking about this shoe as a lost relic, they'll be like, hey, what are you talking about? I just bought a pair of these. But as far as like trends, this was kind of like these found their way into kind of hip hop trends during the 90s. And that's why, you know, I definitely went to school and urban style was the popular style. So, you know, that's when Asolo they got notoriety on the urban scene, probably in the 90s. There's another brand, and hopefully I can bring you a review about them soon because I've got my eye on them, called DMA. DMA is an Italian boot company that kind of reminds me a bit of Asolo, and they make a boot that's similar to that style there. So that's another major boot brand that produces a really good shoe. But anyway, guys, this is a long video today. I just wanted to kind of bring you that Solomon shoe. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching and sticking in there with me. I hope that you guys are preparing for a happy new year and had a merry Christmas, and you know, whatever you celebrate as a holiday. I hope that it was wonderful, and hope that all your families are well. Wishing you guys the best. You know, stay positive, keep doing what you're doing in style. One love, God bless, peace, Tastemaker out.